I understand training yourself to be courting is like living in a world where you don't have anything to do. China is going to come over here eventually because of the deficit currently housed within the cortex of many humans on Earth. We're trained empathy vampires, but we're also trained empathy trainers, and we're also trippy line forces of love, and love is logical omnipresence, virtued empathetically. The light around you is a force of nature. I studied an ancient sun dial. The sundial is called Ichisiwa, which stands for I love you all. And forces in nature are always correlated with a stem of production, and literal imperfection is the most beautiful living condition that you could ever go through because it teaches you how to be very secluded and very empathetic. What if I told you the world around you was so empathetically declined it doesn't really have anything to offer you? It just has something to offer you just so you can become like ships, and so you can become like these angled like sociopathic morons who want to do stuff to people that are very like disabled. The sexual empathy is training yourself how to become a mental state before you become a physical human. Humans don't have the right to perform sexual intercourse with each other unless they are highly intelligent. The most intelligent people are psychological protocol agents. Protocol agents are people who have bonded all their neurons in their cortex. It sounds alien to you, but it sounds empathetic towards me. And I was always trying to get that point across in some weird way. But sometimes people have to be shown an art piece. I like to make food, but when I make the food is really good food. And I like to study art, and I like to study angles, sentiments. But studying to me is like doing my own art and like analyzing it as being like something cool or creative. Antisocial people are the most retarded people in the world because they don't have any empathy. Everything they do is trained to be bitch. Like if you talk to an antisocial person, you try to say something nice to them, they will look at you, okay, and depending on how nice is to you to your like mind. So if I say something intelligent to someone named Aaron, Aaron will sit there and try to tell me something that's very creepy. If I say it to someone named John, he'll say that I'm a very like poor person. He'll try to get me to like do stuff that's very evil to my own like condition. The soul's productivity is empathy at the highest level, and what we need to do is we need to look at each other like we're like good people. Antisocial people are the worst people because they have these ideas they're better than you because they have money, and money is very poor. It doesn't have any depth to it. I'm pretty sure the dollar you gave me last night or whatever when I was flying a sign didn't give me any kind of like mental state. I'm pretty sure it's not even enough to buy like a bottle of alcohol or like some heroin or some like crystal meth. So the thing is once you have unlocked your brain, you don't have to go and use crystal meth anymore. Crystal meth is a method of living in a world where you're smarter than most people. And you can like light force yourself into like every realm. The truth is, everything around you is living. I would really like to talk to Lee Singer Radiohead. I heard he's really intelligent and he knows a lot about like the world. Look, I know a lot about the people around me, and I also know a lot about you. But please don't talk to me if you're that stupid. If you think the world around you is like fucking freaky, it's freaky in no way. Your boyfriend Matt, by the way, his name's Matthew Arola. Your boyfriend, yeah, he's actually alive, okay, and he was never killed, but he was given an ultimatum. It was like, look, you either go through this trauma and this treatment, this fucking like weirdo, like psycho, like amplified, like it's not rape, but it's like when people kill children when they're high on a bunch of drugs, what happens is they sell them off these really creepy, like big serial killers, and they give them the surgery, and they give them the surgery, they turn their anal cavity into like a sex organ, and then they go and say, okay, you know what, you get to have sex with this big ass serial killer, and we're not going to help you much. We'll give you some pain medication, and we'll angle ourselves above you. However, um, the leasing Radiohead is unaware of this. There are cases where people are literally thrown in prison for hearsay crimes. Okay, and those people do not have a right to get fucking like beat up or have a right to get have a right to get like sucked dry of their empathy. When you are forced to go through physical pain through anal penetration in a prison setting, the higher sort of like intuition is to turn you into an antisocial sadist with a very high rage, and it will make you into a fucking killer. They make people into killers because they scare them. Okay, now usually what happens is people in the prison setting will like gaslight the cops if they try to get someone really like screwed over. The really intelligent people are the inmates in a prison setting. I watched one of my cousins, his name's Wes Watson, and I don't care if you've been to prison or not. It doesn't matter. Maybe you went to prison, maybe you didn't. Maybe your boyfriend Herc or whatever Hercules is like not even an inmate or a convict. Maybe I'm the only convicted like sadist like rage mode full of like love, empathy, vampirico. So I looked at a gaslighting empathy training that the cops do on people. What they do is they train themselves how to be over you because you don't have that sort of like suave sociopathic empathy. You're training yourselves how to be empathetic and narcissistic. I'm also related to someone named Katie Morton. Katie Morton is an analytical fake therapist. They're basically these higher like powered suck ass people who like go and say like, yeah, I went to prison and I'm a therapist and oh I'm a chef. I'm like, you're not a chef or a therapist or even a convict or even or catering. They don't hire people like me because they don't know what I'm about. They train themselves how to be empathetic, but it's training yourself how to be statistically narcissistic. And I just looked at him and told him that I wasn't interested in forming love or anything. What you people need to do is you need to stop talking to me like I'm a piece of shit. Okay, like angle yourselves above me ever again and try to make yourselves. I want you all to look at the world in an artistic way, in a colorful way. Okay, I want to talk to people who are empathetically inclined to do things that are very angled, that are agnostic. Agnostic is an ancient is an ancient saying. It's like this super saying, but like with colorful like virtue and like loving the world. It's antichrist, but it's more of like a really cool one, not like those creepy goth like kids and shit where they like to fucking dress up in like all black and they like fucking having like sort of like simple like forms of like black art. It's not draconian. It's like ancient Iranian, Hindu, Polynesian sort of like. I built this restaurant in my head, and it's a really cool restaurant. The restaurant is extremely like cool because in the restaurant we do consume like animal products, but we consume them in an intelligent way. Humans haven't developed enough to form themselves into an art scenario where they are complicated. Try to be more amplified in your narcissism and look at the world like it's a cool place. I'm gonna start like stripping these videos out shorter so that you can just get the point. Well, I think today we should go out and we should make art scenarios in forms of like living in a world that's like contemplated. Disabilities do not make you mentally challenged. They're not physical, really, but what they are physiological empathy trainings that have made you into someone who's very psychotic. Something like ALS, which I do have a form of ALS, is something that physically deplores me. Okay, I can't like move. It's like I want athletically. I was watching these people practice gymnastics, and I got really pissed off because I was like, oh, I would like to do that. I would definitely love to like learn how to do that. But wait, I can't do that because no one will give me any medicine that's supposed to be like offered to me. I track information systems, but I have the ability to track information. Like I have the ability to track emperors, which are like these like psycho like forms of like according like, and they have no idea that I'm actually better than they are because I know more about the world. They think I'm evil, but the evil in them is that they're physically attractive and physically fit, and they don't understand like why is the world like loving yourself only. The truth is, I'm gonna go see a psychologist, and I'm gonna stare at the psychologist like he's a buck creep, and I'm gonna go, you know what? In my silent way, I'm gonna be like, I'm not talking to you, dude. Like, you're so fucking beneath my fucking IQ that I can't even look at you like you're humans. Sorry, I can't look at these people like they're humans anymore. I have a feeling that these people like trick me to think I'm evil. And the truth is, what we did is we made ourselves high on a bunch of drugs, okay? And then we gave ourselves this recording where you were fucked over because something like really creepy happened to you. Now all these autistic sadist fucking fruitcakes get to have empathy. So, Katie, I want to talk to you really quick. What's your problem, Katie? My problem is that I don't like you because you know everything and you're like just in here scolding the shit out of humans for being like idiots. What if you just did what you need to do and the world around you was like cool? What would it do for you? Oh, it wouldn't be cool at all because no one's gonna help me because no one gets the fucking point. The reason why China is coming over here and starting a war, little puppy, is because China understands that our IQs are way lower than theirs, and they want to sit there and bitch us up or live in this world. By the way, I'm not American, I'm European. No, your ancestors not fucking matter. It's depending on the range of how long your ancestors lived in Europe. Okay, my ancestors lived in Europe for like um, about like 500 years. They come from Ukraine, Russia, and Yugoslavia. Your fucking people have been here since like the 1960s. So I guess me and you are basically considered like Europeans, but I'm more European than you are because my family has been in this country. No way. We are not even a part of this country. We actually want to take over plots of land. And we actually want to sit there and we actually want to gaslight marijuana farmers and like these rapists and these retards and these homeless like suck ass people who like take over plots of land and like defecate on our like livelihood. Yeah, we also want to kill off the racist cops too, and the horny, sucky like kike. And also we want to take down cats. Not like the girl, like the cats, like the ones that like fucking like climb up trees and shit, but like the ones that don't want to carry the kike. Yeah, the kike cats. They have an empathy. They just like sit there and look like they're like tall and cool. They look like they're like pushing off some psycho like empathy. The truth is they're not welcome in my world. I just told them no. I was like, you guys can't be here anymore. Like, you guys can't be in this world. They claim to be like Jews and stuff. The Jews were all inbred people, by the way. They're not fucking kikes, dude. So go away. Ryan is definitely more intelligent than Daniel. Daniel is a kike. Ryan's not a kike. Ryan's a good person. But the thing is, Ryan, the next time someone tells you that I'm like a piece of shit for no reason, I want you to look at them and say, prove that by physical evidence. I want y'all to look at the crime sheet, the paperwork, right? Because usually when you're convicted of a crime, or they give you like a paper, like a piece of paper, like with typing on it and stuff. It says like so and so like committed this crime. If it says like he fucking like like ripped open the person's like anal cavity and like and there was no physical evidence, like because whenever there's a crime against a person, there's always like some sort of like criminal act, okay? And the thing is, I don't have a criminal history or criminal charge or anything. But thank you for like talking about me and like lying to me and lying to those people. How do you think that works? You think the cops are fucking cool? Because the complicated IQ is that these people like worship cops, but they worship them because they're fucking like, telling you how to like be tough, but they're not really telling you anything. You're just a creep who wants to suck them off. I can see in your eyes, like when they get this weird shit where they grab like sunglasses and they walk around like they're cool, and they get like these creepy stares at you. Whenever they look at you, it's like this fruity ass like suck ass like, like, yeah, I know about cop come out with me. I don't understand why you have a problem with me. I'll call me back, like, the cop's not badass, dude. Fuck out my face, dude. You're hell done, dude. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Yeah, go have fun fucking smoking your joint and getting all like buffed up over like, shit, childish shit, like fucking like retards with like big arms and like big guns and like retards who like don't know anything. Yeah, have fun, and I hope you all fucking die.